So this is apparently the stinkiest one they've got here in the restaurant, and it smells like a haunted washing machine. This is Bordeaux, France. I arrived in Bordeaux not really knowing what to expect. I'd always heard about the beauty of Bordeaux from family and friends in France, but nothing could have prepared me for just how beautiful this city really was. Within minutes of leaving the train station, Bordeaux completely pulls you in. Everywhere I looked, there was another piece of stunning architecture, grand buildings, intricate details, and streets that looked like they belonged on a postcard. It felt like the entire city had been frozen in time, yet somehow still alive and buzzing with energy. One of the best things about Bordeaux is that you never quite know what you're going to experience next. One minute, you'll be hanging out of your hotel window with a fresh croissant, whilst the Cathédrale Saint-André de Bordeaux towers above you. And then 5 minutes later, somebody will fly past you pulling a wheelie. And then there's the bracons. I absolutely love a bracon. And if you've never heard of a bracons, they're these small vintage shops that are hidden away down the side streets, and they're absolutely crammed with weird and wonderful treasures. Inside, you've got everything from old signs, retro furniture, quirky ornaments, and countless objects that serve absolutely no practical purpose whatsoever. Do I need a tiny plastic frog riding a motorbike? No. Will I be buying a tiny plastic frog riding a motorbike? Yes. Anyway, I don't have time to be browsing bracons and hunting for trinkets. Because whilst everybody else has come to Bordeaux chasing vineyards and fancy glasses of Merlot, I've come here for something far more important. Cheese. Because when the sun goes down and the wine bars start to fill up, something cheesy awakens in this city. Baud Millet, the restaurant of 100 cheeses. If you walk past Baud Millet without knowing what it was, you'd probably think nothing of it. From the outside, it's incredibly unassuming. There's no giant world-famous cheese experience sign and no huge queue of tourists around the corner. And I love that, because the best food experiences don't need to shout about themselves. It's just a small, slightly mysterious building that gives no indication of what's hiding beneath it. Before heading downstairs to the famous cheese cave, it is worth taking a moment to appreciate the upstairs dining area. It's cozy, rustic, and exactly what you would hope a traditional French restaurant would feel like. There's wooden beams, stone walls, and shelves lined with bottles and local produce, which gives it plenty of character without feeling over the top. Right, we're heading downstairs now into what is easily the best part of the restaurant. As you've just seen, there are tables upstairs, but if you want to get that real cheese cave experience, downstairs is where you need to be. Plus, if you're anything like myself and plan on making double-digit trips back and forth to the cheese cave, you really don't want to be climbing the stairs every couple of minutes. That being said, the tables downstairs are in high demand, so if you want one, get there early. Fortunately, I was given exclusive early access and first choice of seats, and in a decision that will surprise absolutely nobody, I picked the table closest to the cheese. Right, let's translate this specials board, but it is important to note that this does change depending on the day that you visit. First up is the Tour de Fromage 10 Fromage, a cheese board featuring 10 of the best French cheeses in the house. Think of it as the Tour de France, but with less cycling and significantly more cheese. Next up is the Fondue Savoyard, a classic alpine fondue consisting of a bubbling pot of Emmental, Gruyere and Comté, served with plenty of bread for dipping. They also have a traditional French raclette, which is kind of similar in spirit to a fondue, but instead of sharing one giant pot of cheese, everybody gets their own little tray of melted raclette, and it's usually poured over potatoes and cured meats. The only catch is that the raclette requires a minimum of 10 people, so if you're a bit of a Billy No Mates like me, you might want to join a book club, make some friends, or just invite me along. But let's be honest, the real star of the show is right there at the top of the board. Unlimited access to the cheese cave for €36. No brainer. If, like me, you don't drink alcohol, the drinks menu is a little limited. There are a couple of fruit juices, but no soft drinks. I went for an apple juice along with a bottle of mineral water. Now this is where Baud Millet loses its first points. This bottle of water was one of the most expensive that I've seen in a restaurant in a long time. In fact, I'm going to pause the video for a few seconds and let you guess how much it costs. Drop your prediction in the comments and I'll reveal the answer at the end of the video. Right, this is the moment that I've been waiting for. This is why I've travelled all the way to Bordeaux to visit Baud Millet. Just look at this. Shelf after shelf of aging cheeses, all maturing down here in the perfect conditions. The smell is incredible, and honestly, I don't know where to start. Around the outside, the cheeses are grouped by type, so you're not just left wandering around guessing what everything is. On the left hand side, you've got a section dedicated to Le Chèvre, which is goat's cheese. Now these range from mild and creamy to those with a bit more of a stronger flavour. Then you move on to the back section, which is into the hard cheeses, packed with aged mountain cheeses, comtés and beauforts, before finally reaching the regional French cheeses on the right hand side. Now this is where you'll find your bluer, more stronger cheeses. Now before I got started properly, I needed to know what the strongest cheese in the cave was. The staff immediately pointed me towards this one, Roquefort. Now Roquefort is made from sheep's milk and is aged in the natural caves of Roquefort-Salsoulzon in southern France. So this is apparently the stinkiest one they've got here in the restaurant, and it smells like a haunted washing machine. And as I'd been a brave boy and tackled the strongest cheese in the cave, I thought I'd earned a photo with it as well. So here we have it, my top 4 cheeses from Baud Millet. Just missing out on the top 3 is Tom Noir de la Broc. This semi-hard cow's milk cheese has a distinctive black rind and a smooth creamy texture. What I really liked was the little crunchy crystals running through it, similar to what you'd find in a well-aged Comté or Gouda. They add a nice bit of texture and are always a sign that a cheese has been aged properly. Taking third place is Demand de Bresse. I'm not usually a fan of blue cheeses, but this one was rich, creamy and buttery, with just enough blue flavour there to give it character without completely taking over. Taking the silver medal is Fine Fleur. This goat's cheese stands out straight away thanks to its coating of dry flowers and herbs. It looks beautiful, but thankfully it tastes just as good. The centre is soft and creamy, whilst the coating adds subtle floral and herby notes. Now this was an easy choice for number 1, Grand Mère Adrien. This became an instant favourite. It's a creamy cow's milk cheese infused with truffle. So if you're a truffle fan, you're going to love it. Now what I liked about this particular cheese was that the truffle was blended throughout the cheese before it's matured. Now this creates a smooth, balanced flavour rather than just sitting on the surface like other cheeses. If you're thinking about visiting Baud Millet yourself, here are 5 tips to help you get the most out of the cheese cave. Tip 1. Take photos and keep your plate organised. Before you start, take a photo of the section of cheese that you're trying at that time. I tended to do between 4 and 6, and as you can see in this video, the 4 cheeses on the plate correspond to the 4 cheeses that I was trying on the shelves in the background. It sounds a little bit obsessive, but it works. After about 30 or 40 cheeses, they all start to blur into one. But whenever I found one that I loved, I'd just circle it on the photo, and then by the end of the meal, you have a complete list of your favourite cheeses that you can then get when you get back home. Tip 2. Don't take massive chunks. One of my biggest mistakes on the first few plates was taking huge pieces of everything. As you can see, I wasn't exactly holding back. The problem is that there are over 100 cheeses down here, and those generous portions do start catching up pretty quickly. Tip 3. Let the cheese warm up. Don't rush straight into eating it. Cheese is usually at its best once it's had a few minutes to come up to room temperature. Tip 4. Ask the staff. The staff are incredibly knowledgeable and they know these cheeses inside out. Tell them what you'd normally like and they'll often point you towards something that you might have never picked for yourself. That said, half the fun of this place is trying things that you'd never normally order, so don't be afraid to take a few risks. Tip 5, and in my opinion the most important, learn the magic word, bonjour. One thing I'd recommend before visiting France is learning a couple of basic greetings and words. When you walk into a shop, restaurant or cafe, it's customary to say bonjour first. Skipping the greeting can sometimes come across as a little impolite, even if that's not your intention. The good news is that the French aren't expecting you to speak fluent French. In my experience, most are genuinely appreciative when you make the effort, even if you feel like you're making a fool of yourself. Now, before anybody accuses me of being sponsored by the French cheese industry, let's balance things out with 3 things I didn't like about Baud Millet. Number 1, mineral water. Earlier in the video, I asked you to guess how much this bottle of water costs. The answer? Almost €7 for water. Now, I completely understand that restaurants have to make their money somewhere, and drinks are usually where the markup is. But €7 for water? Number 2, was there really 100 cheeses? Baud Millet advertises 100 cheeses, and whilst there are certainly a lot, and I wasn't about to stand there and count them one by one, when I look back on videos and photographs that I took when I visited the restaurant, I am a little bit skeptical as to whether there was 100 cheeses. Number 3, the soft drink choices. Now, this one is a very minor complaint, and I did touch on it earlier with the video, but the soft drink selection and drink selection overall was pretty limited. Having said that, there may be actually a very good reason for it. Strongly flavoured or fizzy drinks can affect how cheese tastes, so keeping the options simple might be intentional. So what score am I giving Baud Millet? For me, it's an 8.9 out of 10. The cheese selection was incredible, the staff were so friendly, I loved that you could eat inside a cheese cave, and the creme brulee was phenomenal. So if you're ever in this part of France, I definitely recommend giving it a visit. I'll put the address on the screen now. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching if you've got to this point of the video without turning off. This is actually my first ever YouTube video, so I genuinely love to hear your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you've enjoyed, what I could improve, and whether there was a cheese in that cave that you think I should have tried. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more adventures. If you haven't liked it and it's not your kind of thing, no drama, baby llama. I still hope your cheese stays fresh and your crackers never break. For those that do want to stick around, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.